What's going on, guys? Alright, so today I'm going to wrap this Ford Raptor in Avery Satin Black. Again, in the description below, a link to all the products that I'm using today, as well as a promotion code for SignMaker Tools, or Yellow Tools, SignMaker Tools specifically. So that will be in the description below with a promo code, so you can get a discount on some of the stuff that I'm using today. Now, this truck in particular is a bit different as far as the body goes. It's a full aluminum body, I believe, so magnets do not work. All right, so there's a really cool product that SignMaker Tools has, and it's going to allow the magnets to stick to the car, which is pretty cool. They're called Gecko Patch. All right, and I have a few of them already placed on the truck itself. As you can see, I have a GoPro on my head, so let's step up the video quality now. We're going to get some more point of view stuff, and I thought, since you guys always ask for it, it would be good. I have the camera angled correctly, so I've checked it out. I've got it on my phone, just able to see everything there. So this is the Gecko Patch right here, and this is a beautiful little thing. This is particularly for, like, if you're trying to wrap a window or whatever, and you just want to stick a magnet down. You can stick a magnet anywhere on any surface, pretty much. That's high energy. These things are reusable. There's no stickiness to the backside of it at all. So it just actually sticks on its own. You just kind of push it on, and then it sticks. And then the magnet sticks to it. The magnet doesn't take it off, see? Which is pretty cool. But the magnet doesn't stick to here, right? So the magnet will just fall off. But if I actually put it here so you can see, this is an awesome invention, actually. So the magnet will stick now, right? Very important tool to have, in my opinion, when you're doing cars, newer cars nowadays, newer vehicles nowadays, where they have aluminum bodies. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. Some Mustangs, a lot of them actually have, like, the front fender, the doors, obviously the bumpers are always plastic. So front fender, doors, trunk, and sometimes the roof are not magnetic, but usually the rear quarter panel is. On this truck, nothing is magnetic at all. So nothing is steel. So let's talk about what I've done here right now. So what I've done is I've removed the scoop. This is just going to allow me to wrap in a little bit further, make it a little bit nicer. Again, it's black over black, so I didn't have to do this, but I do this because this is how I do things. No matter what, if the truck is white, red, black, orange, green, it doesn't matter. It's getting pretty much a full tear down, and I'm going to wrap it the same way I would wrap a red car. So let's cut out the vinyl here on the side of the truck. I'm just going to angle the camera. I had to prop the camera up on a table. So there's the 488 I wrapped a few months back. It's getting stripped. The owner's selling the car. So let's get this over here. And I've got that's my knife. I've got two Gecko Patches. I'm not sure if you can see them in the video. On the side of the truck right now. These are larger ones, okay? These are much larger. So if these ever get dirty, what you can do is you can just use a little isopropyl. I find this works. Maybe I'm not supposed to, but I find it works. Clean it up a little bit, and it makes them stick really, really nice again. So again, magnet will not stick to the side of the truck, but it will stick to the Gecko Patch. When you put the Gecko Patch on, you're just going to want to smooth it out. Try and make sure the air's out of it. Again, that's pretty straightforward stuff. So what I need to do now is I need to measure the hood itself, so its span. So this I can show you in the stationary camera. Pretty straightforward stuff. I put a Gecko Patch on the other side, so let's start over there. Because this measuring tape is magnetic. So we're going to go about 78, 79 inches. It's quite a large hood. Lengthwise, I know it's not longer than 60 inches. I've done this truck before. So we're going to cut 79 inches or so. Let's get the vinyl out of the box. And then once I get the vinyl cut out, I'm going to switch it to point of view mode with the GoPro. I'll leave the main camera running for audio. That's pretty much it. I wonder if the side step here is even magnetic. Let's see. Nope, nothing's magnetic. So let's get that out. So this is a full roll. So if you're wondering how much vinyl you're going to need for a project like this, you're going to need about a full roll for this. So let's remove the tape. Full roll meaning 75 feet or 25 yards. Sorry, I didn't elaborate on that. So let's get this, there we go. So I'm going to start to roll this out. Satin black is not a directional film, but I very much always run my films directionally. I have to be careful of the side step there since it is a textured, kind of a rough textured surface. So you'd probably be somewhere around there. Let's grab the measuring tape. And let's cut our 79 right there. All right. It's fine, it can flop over a little bit. And then I'm going to leave that there for a moment. I'm going to wipe down the surface. I've already prepped the surface using isopropyl alcohol, but I will again, 70%. Let's get this gecko patch off of here. Can't wrap over it. I've also used a compressor to make sure that I've blown away all the contaminants and things like that. Now, even though this truck is very much brand new, it's a couple months old actually, it does have already some stone chips in it, so I will kind of show you those in the GoPro. You'll be able to see it a little bit better. So this is going to definitely help preserve the finish on the vehicle. You might be asking me why I haven't wiped inside the hood scoop area. I don't need to disturb all that right there. I've used a compressor to make sure that I've blown away all the dirt and debris. So we're good with that. So by the way, this truck is also getting ceramic coated, okay? So I'm going to show you what a ceramic coating looks like on a satin wrap when it's all said and done. Okay, cool. So let's turn on the GoPro. And we're recording. All right. That's an SUV. It's a GLC 63S, and it's pretty wild actually. That's a nice SUV. It's a nice SUV. It's pretty crazy actually. Mercedes. It's a V8? Yeah. Yeah. It's a V8, huh? Yeah. All right, so we're gonna plop this guy on there. So if you don't have magnets or gecko patches, what you can do with something like this is just peel a corner and stick that corner down. Now I put one gecko patch on the other side because what's going to happen is I'm going to leave one magnet over there while I unroll the vinyl. Because I have to lift the other side, the passenger side over there. So I'm just going to analyze what I've got here. And coverage. Let's check out the front end. Yeah, I'm not going to trim any off. I might as well just leave it. It's going to be a little bit more balanced if I leave it. So let's do that. I recorded a fun video last night, but the audio didn't work. I did 2 videos and it didn't work. So it's kind of a bummer. Alright, so now you can see why I have a gecko patch on the other side, just so I don't have to hassle with peeling off a corner. I'm gonna roll this bad boy off. Massive hood, right? So there's actually a Ford Raptor way in the back there. That just came, it was just wrapped a few weeks ago in 3M matte black. I got into a little fender bender on the side there on the rear of the box. So it's just getting it replaced. I didn't wrap that one, but I did help on the hood only. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do here right now is we wanna stretch this guy out, okay? This is a very tall hood, or tall truck, sorry. Stick that down there. Let's get rid of the magnet actually, don't need it anymore. Love those gecko patches. Super handy when I was doing like the Ferrari and stuff, so. Okay. So we've got some wrinklage there. What I want to do is bring it back this way. I forgot to sort of show you the couple of stone chips. Anyways, they shouldn't show through too much, maybe very slightly. I had someone call me yesterday and he's looking at buying a Porsche Turbo. It's a used one, but he asked about stone chips, and so I kind of wanted to show what it would look like with stone chips over it, because obviously he's buying a used car. It's gonna have some stone chips in it. All right, cool. So we're good. All up in here. Shouldn't need to reposition the vinyl very much after this. Perfect. Now what we want to do is, I'm going to outline this guy right here. I'm going to throw my glove on in a second. Let's do that. This glove glides really, really nicely. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in a moment, okay? So what I want to do is get down this corner right here. I'm not going to use any heat because I don't want to force it past the point that it wants to be, because I want to lay it into this recess mostly, right? As I always do. Okay. What I'm going to do now is anchor this right down the middle. So I can actually, should be able to bridge this a little bit. This is fine. It's getting right in there. That's going to be the much deeper part of the recess. So as we get over here, yeah, same deal over here. I know there's a stone chip, a couple of stone chips around here somewhere. Makes sense. It's the front of the car. It's right in the middle. Okay. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to cut here and work the film back the other direction. Since it's going to be much easier, I'll explain this in a second. So it's going to be much easier for me to cut out some of this and then fold that vinyl in that way, as opposed to coming out from this side over here, which is much wider and very hard to reach, okay? Could I slap a bunch of primer 94 in this recess right here? Sure, why not? But I'm not that kind of guy to use primer 94. So I'm going to make sure there's air escape at this end as I feed all the vinyl this way, or feed all the air this way, sorry. See, we want to make sure that we have an open end, okay? Here. So what I'm going to do right now is cut off some of this and just glass it out slightly. Actually, I'm not going to glass it out. Sorry, that was a mistake. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it in. Down this way, and I'm not going to stretch it in all the way, just I want it to lock it in. Just give it time to stretch out. This way we're not overstretching the vinyl. So I stretched it out first and then I release it. So this way, and then I cut those wrinkles out first and then I come back and then I release it. Sorry, that's what I mean to say. So again, just a little bit of stretch, nothing crazy. You can see why you'd want to lay this in here, right? This is a very deep recess. And you might run into the issue of the vinyl popping out of it down the road. This just increases longevity. The customer did tell me that he's probably going to change it once a year or so if I get bored of it after a year, maybe even sooner. So there we go. Put that up. So we'll work our way down here. So when you're dealing with this area right here, there's only one way to really do this, and we just want to grab the vinyl and pull it outward. See? I'm pulling it outward and the vinyl, the wrinkles are just kind of going away. I'm not pulling very hard at all. I'm just giving it time. One little guy on the edge, totally fine, okay? It's not the end of the world. And then, once we do that, most of our stretch is actually right through here, not so much at the very end. Unless you're pulling right down and heating it and stuff like that, you don't want to do that, okay? Cool. Just lock all that in. So what I'm going to do here is I probably need a little step stool. I know I had one. I'll just grab the chair for now. This is not the safest, but it's fine. So what I'm going to do now is I can stand on top of the tire and not going to hurt anything. Is cut out some of this, okay? Not too deep because I don't want to cut into the paint. And then I'm going to cut off some of the back here. Let's just make sure we're right where the edge is. Right, I always lift the vinyl so I don't cut into anything that shouldn't be cut into. So now what we're going to do is work this way, okay? So I'm going to lift this up right here. It probably would have been better to not have squeegeed this, but it's fine. I squeegeed it, so I'm just going to pull it back a little bit and allow us to be able to lay into this recess, okay? So you're going to see a massive difference right here, right now. So we're going to work this a little bit right here. And so you can see the vinyl is actually kind of pulling itself into this area right here, or it's dropping into the area on its own, right? Even if we just lay in some of this, it's better than stretching it the whole way in. And then I have a nice little corner over here, so what I want to do is I want to pull it up, stretch it out, and get it around that corner like that. Hopefully you guys can see all that stuff. All right. Cool. So we'll make sure all the air's out of there. We're good. We'll go around to the other side and do the same thing. So I'm actually just going to tackle that area first. Why not? Let's grab the chair. Just making sure my camera up here is still recording, so we got audio. And then do the same thing right here, okay? I'm going to stand on a tire and lift the vinyl up. It's really hard to reach. Cool. So let's do the same thing here. Actually, I'm just going to stand right on the tire. There we go. All right. So I'm trying to angle the camera down. Hopefully it's where it needs to be. I don't have my phone on me to check. But I did try and test it first, okay? Alright, so let's do this corner up here again. Let me cut out some more of this vinyl so that it's not inhibiting me. And let's pull it up over the corner. Pull it out with my thumbs and then towards the corner so it wraps around really nicely, okay? But when we go in there to add heat later on, it's going to basically shrink itself around there. Alright. Let's find the chair. There we go. Chair just fell. Almost broke my neck. The hazards of vinyl wrapping, right? So this has been sitting a while. I might have to lift it a little bit on the edges. You can see the air is not quite coming out as well as it was before. The longer it sits, the more likely it is to trap air. So as long as I got air coming out of that end, I don't have to lift it. It just seems to be going really nicely. Oh, see, it got stuck. So it's just, I like to lift it because if you push down on bubbles like that, you can get like circular glue lines. We're always going to get some glue lines, right guys? There's really nothing in here right now, but this is just from the tape. I'll clean it off with a little adhesive remover later, but we don't really get glue lines in Avery, but you can still get glue lines in Avery. So there is one slightly right here, just slightly. But if you push down on a bubble, if you push down on a bubble, you're very likely to get glue lines, okay? Just so you know. Back on. I lost you 15 minutes. Honestly don't know how long that's been. It's just kind of a bummer.
So hopefully you kind of just stop right here.
So in case you missed something, I was talking about glue lines and how Avery doesn't usually get them, but they can happen very lightly. They're very small, very fine. I'm just gonna restart this camera so I got my audio. All right, so again guys, what we're doing is we're gonna pull up a little bit here and we're gonna stretch it out slightly. As you notice, I haven't used any heat yet. And I just want to lock that in right there. And then I can come across and start squeegeeing out all this. So you can see I'm just lifting the vinyl up, and you see the angle of my squeegee. Take note of that, okay? While you guys are able to watch this up close and in person, take note of the angle of my squeegee. So this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to get too far down on a sharp angle like this, okay? So we're gonna have to kind of pull it back a little bit and then round it out slightly. Keep everything as symmetrical as possible. Use your thumb a little bit if you have to. Sometimes it's better feeling with your thumb than it is with your squeegee. So I recommend, you know, utilizing your thumb as a tool. So again, I'm just going to take this and pull it out. Let's get rid of all those. And I'm not stretching it a lot, just enough, okay? So if I didn't squeegee thoroughly and I missed a spot, it means I'm going to start trapping air, which is what's happening right here. My squeegee is always slicing across. Okay, that's a very important thing. All right, so down here, where wrinkles kind of run this way, we need to pull down a little bit, okay? And then we also spread it out. So nothing too crazy here. Cool. It helps to work towards corners, okay? So we have a corner right here and we have a corner over here. This allows you to take the vinyl and spread it out towards the corner. So same deal here. Now take note, if you see any scuff marks, or basically scuff marks or very fine lines in the vinyl, it does post heat out, it goes away. So it's not the end of the world. It will actually just go away in the sunlight if you leave it out on a warm day. We're running into winter here right now, so what I do is I'll go over the truck before I ceramic coat it, and then I'll be able to. Oh, I got one wrinkle, so we're gonna have to add a little bit of heat to that. And somebody took my heat gun. Awesome. Alright, so I had a little wrinkle there. I'm just going to bring it back slightly, warm it up a little bit, that's it. Take it, spread it all out, and draw it down very gently, okay? So we're not overstretching the vinyl. Perfect. So the hood itself is wrapped. All the air is squeegeed out. The hood looks really good, as you can see. Right? We're gonna have to lift it to finish it off. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna trim this back slightly and not cut on the paint, and I'll show you kind of how to do that. So right here, all I want to do is find a line in the middle here where the vinyl is still taut, and I'm going to end up folding all this in, okay? So I'll lift this up right here. Perfect. We'll go around to the other side in a second, as soon as I lay all this. We're gonna get some wrinkling here, so what I have to do is just push down on it. and that'll keep it away. It's near the edge of where the vinyl is cut, so not a big deal. It won't fail or anything there. I'm certain of that. Cool. So I did wipe inside there far enough of where I need to wrap to. There's no tension in there anymore, so it's not like it's not gonna stick. GoPro eats the batteries. I'm just already at 50%, so I've got enough to do like a hood, and that's like it, I think. Yeah, and same deal with the cutting. So this is gonna be my opposite way, so I gotta come around and start on this end. This is gonna be easier for me to start on this end. So I can cut right-handed. I'm right-handed, so I'm cutting towards my right side. So we're going to go over that. I should be using a glove, but it's okay. I'm just kind of lazy to put it on for this little bit. I'll put it on more for the underside of the hood. So even though we had wrinkles there, they're all gone. Cool. All right. Now what we can do here is we can lift it. So I'll release it from the edge. So if you're beginner, what you can do is you can cut on the fender side. But again, once we get around to the front, we don't have that nice even gap anymore that the fender creates for us. So you won't have a straight cut. I like to have straight cuts, so I always open up the hood just out of habit for me. If you don't practice cutting with the hood up, then you will have to cut here in a spot like this eventually, and then you're gonna have not so straight of a cut if you don't practice. So it's always good practice. Kind of step your skill level up. We'll finish up all the edges once the hood is lifted. Cool. All right, so make sure nothing's sticking to anything, and this should be good. So this one's over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, kind of let that sit there for a second. I'm going to grab my handy little yellow open. I use this pretty often for hoods. I'm gonna find a spot here. So right under the latch would be ideal. So I'm gonna have to, it's going too high up. I can open this up a little bit. Cool, so now I can get it hopefully under there. There we go. All right. This makes a big difference. All right. So now we have complete access to the edge all the way around. All we're gonna do now, you guys get to see all this happen live right now, right in front of your face, instead of watching it from like a few feet back. See, there's one little stone chip right on the corner, right there. This is how I do these corners. So the question that you're going to be asking is, with so little film on the edge, is the vinyl ever going to lift? No, it will never lift. As long as there's no tension on the edge, then it's totally fine. That's one thing to keep in mind. So even when you get around like this side over here, I have like the corner right now is all elevated, so I can actually wrap the corner a little bit nicer. So if I take the vinyl and I just heat it a little bit and then just stretch it out and around slightly, I have complete access to the corner. I have complete access to this edge right here. So this is why it helps to have the hood open to finish it all off. I don't like to just kind of wing the cut and then hope that I got full coverage and that I cut on the fender side here, and I hope and then I kind of wing it. And I just hope that I have full coverage of the actual hood itself, but I don't end up getting that, which is a complete bummer down the road. So if that ever happens. So what we can do, let's just finish up the back side here. Once I finish up with the heat, I'll just go over and we'll cut it all afterwards, all at once. Cool. So I'm happy with how all this is sitting right now. Let's make our way around to the very front. So I have my heat gun on the hottest setting possible, but I don't keep the heat gun in one spot for very long, okay? When I'm teaching people, they often burn the wrap, so don't do that. You're always moving your heat gun. And you notice how I'm not really so much stretching to the edge, I'm just kind of heating it up and pushing down the wrinkles. The wrinkles won't come back once you push them down and you heat them. It's only when you start stretching, okay? Hope you guys are excited for these new videos. With the GoPro. Kind of should help step things up a little bit. All right. So you might be asking, like, what I could do here is I could do like a relief cut between like here and here, these 2 points. So why not just show you that you could do that if you really wanted to, if you were concerned. Let me just put the heat gun away for a second. So I can do a relief cut like right here. Just don't cut into anything. Okay. And that actually makes this really flimsy here, and same with here, right? Right, so now I have a tab here and a tab here with way less tension. This is kind of a slow hood wrap, but again, it's all about being thorough, right? I could have wrapped this in I could have saved myself 10 minutes if I cheated and just cut on the edges and didn't do all this heating and stuff like that, and to make everything look really nice, you know? Like, this is all about it looking like a paint job in the end. That's what I want. That's what I strive for. All right, so we're all done with that. Now I'm just going to stand on the step here and access the back side. So when I cut, I'm just cutting on the very back side right here, okay? Again, we'll go over all this with heat afterwards. You can see that I don't have a ton of my blade out right now. Just be certain that you have full coverage, okay? So I always constantly double check before I cut. But if my back of the blade is on the back side of the edge, and the vinyl is at the very edge, then we should be good as far as cutting goes. It's a little bit awkward for me this side. It's my right hand and I'm kind of getting bound up here. It's okay, I got it. There. Yeah, so once we're done all the cutting, we're going to go over again one more time with heat. So again, with the corner, I'm just taking my blade and coming underneath it. As you can see, I'm a little bit shaky today, and you don't need to have the steadiest hands. It's because I went to the gym and I haven't eaten yet. You don't need to have the steadiest hands to make the straightest cuts, okay? It's all about guiding the blade and planting yourself. If your hand is floating through the air like this, you're gonna make, like through here, you're gonna make mistakes. But if you guide, see how my my middle finger is? See, if I actually mess that up, I can pull that back a little bit. and I can actually just trim that off and make it nice again. So I keep a little tension on it. We don't want to be applying force, okay? The blade is doing all the work here. I'm just moving it forward. So I keep tension on the vinyl. This way I can keep my cut nice and clean and straight. It's much easier to cut when we have tension on the vinyl. I'm just going to make sure my camera's still going. Fresh sharp blade is always very important also, okay? Keep that in mind. So when I show you the back side of the hood afterwards, keep in mind that you're probably not going to see much. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see how straight the cut is. See, if I cut just using the fender side, I could have saved myself, you know, a minute on each side. Maybe not even that. Maybe like 20 seconds. Why save it? I'm not down to save 20 seconds. It's not that important to me. What's important to me is that the install just looks a little bit nicer. So I'm going to take my blade, start it there, and then run it out. Now it's a bit tricky because it's a little difficult to reach. There we go. So now I'll just grab this piece again. Again, I'm guiding the back of my blade on the back side of the hood right there. So this makes it so I can have a straight cut, and I lost that piece there, so I have to start again. The way I find the spot is I push through, but it's very easy to kind of see the line. Push through first, and then I can grab my piece. And that's it. So let's go over it all. Those guys there. My heat gun, put it on the other side here. So this is the finishing touch. This is the final step. These corners might be blatantly visible to the customer, so I want them to look really nice. And the edge, especially on this truck, since the hood sits a little bit higher. Again, what's nice about having the hood elevated is that I have access to heat the edge. I don't even have to move it again. I don't have to open it again. I don't have to close it. It's just in the right spot. That's it, guys. This is the hood wrap. All done. Cool. So that's pretty much it. Guys, if you thought the video was helpful, and hopefully it's a little bit more in depth and it gives you better visibility about what's going on, don't forget that like button. Again, don't forget the subscribe button and notifications if you guys want to see some more stuff. Yeah, you'll have to turn on notifications, get like the stuff right away if you want to see it. I'll do a ton more videos on this truck since I do have a lot to do on it still. We've only just started. We've only just wrapped the hood. We got the doors, which are framed, and we got the front fender, which is going to be fun. Anyways, we got all that stuff to do. Guys, if you like the video, again, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Again, thank you for watching. A link to all the products in the description below. Take care.